Welcome everyone. Makozi Racing Internacional salutes you. I'm Nick Makozi, and this is a stream for the top 16 superstars, the third superstars round of the first stage of the 2020 FIA Gran Turismo Championships here on GT Sport. So the combinations were Group 1 at Spa-Francorchamps. And for the manufacturer series, we had Group 3 at Interlagos. So both very balanced combinations, ones that I like, I enjoy driving on. And yeah, we're going to have a look and see how it all went. So we'll start off with the Nations Cup, obviously, because that comes first. And like I said, Spa-Francorchamps Group 1, 16 laps. You get to use racing soft to racing hard tires, and you have to use all compounds. So you have to use soft, medium and hard, and if you don't comply to that, you will get a one minute penalty. So it really doesn't pay off. You have to use all the tires. As you can see, I was using the Peugeot 908. So in the time trials, the one that's there, you'll probably notice that it's pretty much dominated by the Audi R18. So the one that, for example, Metal Gear, the car that's right in front of me, this one. See some of the other drivers as well using it, but I went for the Peugeot because after trying it, it felt very comfortable. It had a specific type of driving style, and I really enjoyed just driving it in general. So I went for it. It's got good top speed as well, and I was trying to make this work to an advantage. Also, you can see it's total kind of advertising on it. Usually, if you've been to Spa-Francorchamps in real life, you will have known, you might have noticed, but pretty much every single petrol station that you encounter while going there is total. So it's pretty nice to have it match the track somewhat. So yeah. Default livery. So here's the lap. I'll let you guys have a look at it. Welcome GTX, welcome Karim Driftmaster. Sorry for not noticing you guys earlier. Like it, yeah, thanks Driftmaster. We'll have a look at that in the actual replay. I appreciate it, thanks. Evening, Dylan. Welcome. Good to see you here. A pretty nice Nations Cup for yourself, eh? Getting really getting a lot stronger as a driver, which is good to see. Yeah. Catfish. Oh, sorry, Karim. I'm pronouncing that correctly. My apologies if it's not. Pug. Would be the best, I'd say, but the problem is you lose a lot at the start. So you'll see at the rate in this race how much of a loss you get. But I was actually counting on the top speed of this car to do something on the first laps, and it was going to do something. Unfortunately, we just didn't have quite the timing we wanted, and particularly favourable position. So you can see there 55.282. Dylan there, he actually did a pretty decent job as well. And to celebrate, he goes into the barrier at turn 1. But still, he did a 55.1, which is very fast time indeed. I believe he came third at the end of it all. Let me just have a quick look. Metal Gear there, he used the Audi. He got first, pole position. McEwen there in second. And in the end, we actually finished fourth in 410 subs. So it wasn't really what I wanted to get. I know I could have perhaps gotten P2, but yeah, considering it's a very long race, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of things that could have happened if people making mistakes and whatnot. But yeah. Hey, amazing out, Andrew. I'm doing fine, thanks. How about yourself? Hope you're having a nice evening over there where you are. I think you really can't go. Oh, Dylan, I think you can. I think but the stars have to line up basically. You need to be starting in P2, or the Audi driver. He needs to be starting directly in front of you, and he'll get away at the start, coming to a source, actually turn 1, and he'll start running away down at the hairpin after La Source. So he'll gain that little bit, but then afterwards the top speed of the Peugeot is about 20 kilometers faster. So if you're close enough, it should be around 8 tenths, 7 tenths to make it work. If you're 7 tenths behind going into Eau Rouge, then you can catch the R18. But it really, like I said, you need to have the stars line up for it to work. Be very fortunate. Top split, you're like exactly doing that. Everyone that hasn't seen the top split race, you'll see what Dylan means. It was an interesting race, to say the least. Hey, Arthur Clark, welcome. So we're here in a really long time. Welcome. You have to get your qualifying absolutely perfect. Yes, Dylan, exactly. I mean, for me, I would get a 44.9. Sorry, 54.9. My apologies. And that would be really asking a lot. Audi on pure pace is dominant, but the problem in the race is that it runs out of hybrid very quickly, so it's hard to regenerate that, and that's its weakness. Also, the top speed isn't quite as powerful as this Peugeot here, so just go a little bit further. See, we've got a very long rolling start, my apologies. So this is the interesting one. Okay, so I started on mediums. Let's just start with that. I started on mediums. Let's have a look at who started on what. We have Pure Axel from 5th, immediately jumped up to 4th. He's on mediums. 3rd is on mediums. Dylan in chat, he's on softs, and P1 is also on softs. So the first two guys, they will be able to run away pretty much. I'm not close enough for that, but this could have had a chance on Pure Axel. But this is what I mean. Look at the start. This is where it gains a lot of time. Audi. And you can just see that it turns into a spaceship in acceleration zones. It just runs away, and now this happens. And you can see pure axle here. He overestimates his cold mediums. He pushes a bit too early. Spins out. I go into him. I too am saving. I'm trying to catch a slide that I also got. You see that? Sorry about that. So you see I lose it for a split second there, and I'm just catching it, taking off. And I'm going full throttle at this point, which was a very big mistake. And I'm going right to try and avoid it, but I just can't. I've taken off the throttle, it's too late. And unfortunately, pure axle, he doesn't ghost out in time. And that, unfortunately, pure axle, if you're watching, I'm sorry about this. Probably ruined your entire race there with that single hit, and that did not do me or him any favors at all. I got a 3-second penalty. Not much I could have done there, honestly, but okay. And I've got damage as well, and from 6th position I cut a rouge because I didn't notice the damage. Slow down from 6th, going down, 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 wait for it, 8, wait for it, Matt hitting me off at Lecum, and dropping down to 9th, 10th, and yeah, 11th. And you can see I've lost far too much time, all because of that incident. And the one thing I want to focus on now, I just want to see this, is how Matt, how he was braking this one. Where did he choose his braking from? Oh yeah, that was very late. Yeah, he was probably counting that there wasn't any slipstream, or that I wouldn't have been there, but that was too late for Matt. And you can see he doesn't get a penalty for that, which that's the system. I'm a bit surprised, but okay. And yeah, we've basically gone from 4th down to 11th, and we've lost about 13 seconds in the process. So not ideal at all. Definitely not where I wanted to be. If anything, this is going to be interesting for when the commentators have a look at it. This will make the race a lot more fun to watch. You can see I have to fight back through the field. Bradley there struggling a little bit on exit. I get by him. And we've recovered one position for now. So staying behind Noodles there, he moves to the left, lets me pass. Noodles, if you're watching, thank you. Cheers for that. Matt and Sidog, they both pit in at the start. So does Emery. She actually got in front of us. She was very lucky, very fortunate actually to escape all that mess. So good for her. And she actually manages to get out on softs. Yeah, so she still has to serve a half-second penalty, but she can still do something out of that. So, yeah. Hey, Psycho Sheep, I was using the Peugeot 908. Hey, Antimix. Elias, I believe it was Elias, yeah. Welcome. And from what you guys have said and what you've seen, that was a very underwhelming start for me. Yeah, moving on. So moving on, We started on the mediums. The strategy was to pretty much do, I think it was 7 or 8 laps if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, about 7 or 8 laps on the mediums to try and maintain 4th. Obviously that didn't work, so we're stuck down here in 7th. But I'm just going to keep pushing on, keep going in 7th, and we'll see what the race brings us. You can see that Pure Axel, he's not too far behind either, so if he's fast enough, he can keep up a little bit. Sidog and Matt, they're both using the Peugeot as well. They pitted in on lap 1 after passing me. Matt was on the mediums, and you can see he immediately goes in. He did 1 lap on the hards, 1 lap on the mediums. Now he's going to stick to the softs. Sidog, he's gone to the softs. He thinks he'll have enough clean air to try and make something work with those tyres. So we'll see how it works for him. And moving on, we're still in 7th. So apart from that start, I think what I was missing in this race was, you can see that I was not being consistent at all on the mediums. I was pretty much everywhere. I was a bit shaken after what happened there on the first lap. So you can see I was losing a lot of time, and I wasn't getting those laps in as I should have. See, 58.4. That's very slow. 58.6. 58.3. So I was not setting the world on fire at these times at all. And I was supposed to be. I should have been doing this. I should have been doing 57.9s, 57s. And it only took me like 5 laps to get back into the groove. And on the 6th lap, I pit in and I go on hards. At the front, P1, he's still going on the softs. Amazing Hour is doing the same. Dylan, I would just run this back a little bit. So Dylan, who was in P2, dropped away a little bit from a couple of seconds, and he goes into pit now after 6 laps. Amazing Hour, he doesn't follow him in. McEwen, he's on mediums, he follows Dylan. See both of them there. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out in 3rd, so pretty much not too much of a loss. He's still got a clear track in front of him, so he can focus on driving. And this is interesting. McEwen losing out to Emery there. And just edging herself in front of McEwen. That was a very crucial move by her. So well done. Yeah, Dylan. I was surprised that the guys at the front weren't doing 3 stops, because I know your car, the Audi, and it's very decent on the tires. It's better than the Peugeot in some cases. So if you know how to save the tires, you should be using that. Yeah, I pitted in on lap 6, as I said. I went from mediums to hards for a single lap. You can see the Sidog. He's managed to stay in front. I haven't been able to overcut him. And you can see the GTR Schnickerman right behind. So I believe Schnickerman, he overtakes GTR. No, he doesn't, so he actually stays behind. Yeah. Looking at me, I do 1 lap on the hards, slowest compound, and this is not what I wanted. I did not want to do this many laps on softs. I did 9 laps on soft. I did not want to do that many, but I had to try something to get back up the field, because I just thought I might as well give it a go. I'm not fighting for the win anyway. Perhaps I can get P5, P4, maybe P3 if I'm very fortunate, if I can get those laps in. You see, I'm a little bit held up behind Matt here. He's on used softs. He is struggling a bit for pace. I wonder where he got this penalty from. Okay, he went a bit wide there. And that rewarded him a half-second penalty, which is not going to do him any favours. And now, see, I'm closing in on Matt. Maybe thinking about a pass, but for those of you that are driving tonight, the important thing to know is that dirty air is not going to help you at all. The dirty air in these cars is just too powerful, that Matt, if he was driving fast enough, he could have held me back. He was on new softs, I was on new softs. If he was careful enough and he was getting everything right, he could have held me back easily. That's how powerful it is. Hi Race Online Hungary, welcome. So I get the undercut on side dog now. We go side by side, he backs out of it. And after dropping to 10th at the start of the race, we're now in 7th, so made up 3 positions. It's fine. Happy with that. We'll just hope that we can get some little points along the way if we try hard enough. Welcome, Fan Esport. Good to see you here. Okay, so you guys probably don't want to see this. Keep going. Actually set the fast. Yeah, I set the fast. Perhaps you'd want to see that. I'll give you that. So my 4th lap on softs. Oh no, is it? Yeah, my 4th lap on softs was actually my fastest, which was a bit surprising. And yeah, I was giving it everything at this point. I knew, like, with the soft tires, with being careful enough, and yeah, just really getting those laps in, I could secure 4th, perhaps, maybe. Yeah, at this point you could see, after dropping down to 10th, we're up to 5th, so it's not bad. That's still very good position. Still gives us an improvement on our points, so that's fine. Couldn't believe when I saw you coming at me at the end. I thought, yeah, amazing. I was really surprised, because you're about a good 10 seconds away at this point. Let's see. Yeah, so about 9 seconds away. And what time is it? You're on medium, so I was thinking, no, there's maybe a second a lap faster. I might be catching him a little bit, but I'm not going to get him at the end of the race. And then I was very surprised, because I started instead of that being 1 second, see amazing how he's doing 58s, 58.8, 58.2, and I'm doing 56s. So instead of 1 second, I was catching up by 2 seconds a lap, and that gave me a bit more of a motivation let's say, to just keep doing what I'm doing, and maybe get past Amazing O if I was lucky. Yeah, I had warm mediums, exactly amazing. So you used the softs at the start, but it just didn't pay off, and that's what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to not use the softs at the start. If I qualified top 3, I would have, but I started 4, so I decided to be on mediums because I was going to lose too much time anyway. R18 was really fun. Yeah, I agree, Dylan. The McEwen has the Audi that McEwen is driving, 2011 one. It's a very strong car. Not quite as strong on the straights, but when it comes down to the corners, in comparison to the Peugeot, it can really hold its own a lot better. And there's also a specific way of driving this out. You don't want to really use all the revs out of the car. You want to actually short shift it a bit. And that's where it gets more speed. So you can see he's also doing 56.5, 56.3, 56.4. So he's very consistent. I'm doing 56.2, 56.6, 56.0. So it's close. And probably even looking back at this now, maybe the Audi was slightly better in general, but I felt more comfortable with the Peugeot, and I decided to use that. So the Emery, she's there in 6th, not doing too bad herself. I was a bit surprised. I thought she'd be going a bit faster. At this point, she's still doing very well. 56s on softs, 56.9, 56.7. You can see the fronts are being used up a little bit faster. Hi Racer, welcome. So I'm going to go a little bit further in front. Emily, how are our tyres doing? So let's just have a look at this. Emery, she pitted in on lap 9. I pitted on lap 7. Yes, I pitted on lap 7. She has 2 lap older, newer tyres. So
she pitted on lap 8 and again.
Yeah, so she did her final pit stop on lap 9.
Yeah.
I have 2 lap newer tyres. Yeah. Older tyres, sorry. And you can see, perhaps it's just not enough practice. Maybe it's her driving style. You can see, even though there are 2 laps newer tyres, her fronts are at the same level as mine. The rears definitely are better, because I've been pushing a lot. But I was really surprised that she wasn't catching up quite as much. So you can see, amazing how he hasn't pitted in at all. He's just been doing this on mediums. And about 3 laps ago, he was a good 10 seconds away. Now I'm around 4, maybe 3, and I'm starting to bring that down. So I was thinking to myself, maybe I can get 4th. Took the stroke of the game, considering iRacer has his friends punting over. Oh, sorry to hear that, Apex. I didn't know about that. From experience, I haven't seen iRacer in top split, so I wouldn't know. Fair enough. So at this point, I was right within the slipstream range of Amazing Al. You can see I'm not going on the same line as he is. Let's run it back to him. This is how he's going into the final chicane. He's taking the racing line. This is how I'm going into the last chicane, not going into the racing line. The reason because of this, or the reason behind this, is to avoid the dirty air under braking. That means I can brake later. I don't have to burn through the fronts quite as much. You can see I'm doing it again for La Source. And it just helps me brake that bit later, which is helping me also get closer to Amazing Hour and maybe set up for a pass if I'm lucky. You can see, catching up. Before he brakes, Amazing Hour's top speed is around 311, 312. And this is what I went to the Peugeot for. You can see in the slipstream it has 334, and we're not even braking yet. Now we're starting to take off. But it's a very fast car on the straight, so if you can get close enough to those Audis, you can pass them easily. Problem is following each other in the corner, so that just takes a lot of timed patience, being really careful, and just managing your throttle and not understeering off too early. The trick in Group 1 of trying to stay behind someone is that you need to take a completely different line. You need to brake on a different line. You need to turn in earlier. You need to hold the inside more. You can see again, there it is. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm braking on the middle of the road while Amazing Hour, he's taking the left to the right, the out and out approach, which should be the best, and it is the best. I'm doing whatever I can to try and avoid the slipstream that he's giving me until I get on the straight here. So on the back end of the circuit, now I start using that Peugeot speed. I apologize, Amazing Hour, I do apologize if I did touch you a bit here. So I didn't think you were pitting in at this point. I thought you were going to go to the end, and I was going for the pass. So sorry if there was a bit of lag there. It didn't look like it, but maybe there was. And you can see I get in front of him, and I was really surprised by this. Now Amazing How he goes in and he does his final pit stop. Dylan, McEwen and Metal Gear, they all do their final pit stop as well. So let's go back a little bit. See there, goes in on final time. So does McEwen, and so does Dylan, as well as Amazing How. And at this point, I was a good, looking at that, I would say it was about 8 seconds, maybe 7 behind Dylan. So I knew I could, if I got a good run out of La Source, I could have set up for a pass. And now you see here. So Dylan, he's coming out. How come your internet connection is always so light? Dylan, that would be because I'm driving from overseas. That's pretty much the main reason. My internet is just fine. Very high download and upload speeds, but it's just simply the distance from the server, the ping. That's why I'm a bit laggy. So you can see that we actually we got a good run out of La Source, and this is what I meant before at the start. If you're about 8/10 behind, like now, you can make a pass happen. So you can see, really catching up to Dylan at this point. On the outside, he goes defensive. Well, fair play to him. He wants to try and defend his position, but it's not going to work. And we get the pass done on him, and see he actually brakes a little bit late. And he's got the window wiper on, so not sure if the window wiper is helping him with extra downforce in the corners. Doesn't look like so. It doesn't look like that's happening. You never know. So we actually get into P3 at this point, and I was really happy with that. Metal Gear and Nikion are just too far behind to be caught. Too far in front, sorry, to be caught. So I can't do anything about that. They're both on hards, not softs, but again, I simply lost too much at the start. I finished 9.5 seconds behind first at the end, and I lost 13 seconds. And then you take into account dirty air and everything and a clear track. So I could have won this race. Honestly, I could have won. But I just I wasn't careful enough at the start. You can see that Metal Gear, he wins. Kim comes home in second, very good result for him. And I finished there in third after pulling off the 2-stop. Dylan there in fourth, fortunately losing out after starting pretty high up. And we're getting a very nice 5th place. She actually passed Amazing Arm at the end though. Yeah, so here it is again. He does the same to Amazing Arm. And job well done by her. Good stuff. Makes sense. Where are you racing from, Dylan? I'm Dylan Lindgren. Where am I racing from? I'm racing from home, Dylan. Overseas, like I said before, that should explain enough. See that Emery, she gets into 5th. I have it unfortunately losing out there after hitting 3 times. It's not done him many favours. Oh, okay. I was disappointed there for a second. And yeah, 5th and 6th for those two. Actually come in 7th. Sidog in 8th. Pure Axel 9th. Fortunately, after spinning out there at the beginning and me helping him go around. And Matt there in 10th after giving a bit of a nudge first lap. Noodles doing a celebratory spin in the final lap. Yeah, that was the top 16 for nations. Now we're going to go to manufacturers. Yeah, Baptiste, if you're watching, the reason why I got the total time that I did in Manufacturer Series, if you're there, just watching, the reason why I got that total time is, first of all, I didn't have any slipstream for my qualifier, which put me in a very bad position. I got held up by another driver, and I had to fight on the last lap. So, and plus the first lap, you've got cold tyres, so that pretty much explains it. If you're wondering why I was so slow. In practice I did that time that I mentioned. Just not to believe me. This was pretty much a sign of things to come. In the qualifier. Lionface was being very eager. Unfortunately, he braked a tiny bit too late, went into the back of lane. So, He gets on the outside of lane. And he's pretty much pushing at this point. He's not saving his tyres. He's not... And he has a 1 second penalty. Blind face. So if you're watching this, I was a bit surprised by what you did. I don't think that was the best action. I mean, sure you have the toe now, but you've got the penalty and it's not going to help you. Could have moved aside, but you can see I'm even flashing him. But he goes on regardless. And I get a 5 second penalty. So I go back to the pits immediately. I go out and I try and set another lap time. This time with no slipstream. And my rhythm was a little bit... Now it was shaked. Let's say my rhythm was now shaken because I was expecting to have a toe, and after what happened there, after getting a 5 second penalty, that was a little bit confusing, mixed emotions and whatnot. So I wasn't in the best state to do this last qualifying lap, and I only had one chance, so I needed to be careful. So this is the lap. Couldn't cut the rights as much as I would have liked, because I need to be careful. I need to be safe, to make sure I get around and at least set a lap. Hey Red Mist, top 16, it was okay. Nations, you can go back if you want and have a look. Finished P3 after an unfortunate start. Is what it is. It's racing sometimes. Oscar, yeah, you get a replay now. You can save the replay of the qualifying at the end, actually, before you start the race. So that's possible. I can see I had a small hesitation on the last corner, and at the end of it all I get a 29.4, so it was definitely not my fastest at all. In practice I was doing 29 ones by myself, so yeah. Wasn't completely happy with that lap. I had to be safe though, not to get a penalty of any sort by some chance. And you see that Lamborghini, they have the fastest time with a 29.2. GTR there, still going around, but he's not going to improve his lap. He does a 29.3 because he had a bit of help from Madam here in the Ford. He gets a 29.398. Psydog with a 29.4. We're fifth. We could have been third. Easily, we could have been even first if we risked more. But considering I only had one lap, I wasn't going to throw that away and start at the back. Holland quits pits, so game stops him on track. Lionface runs into him because he runs. Yeah, Ranger. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. And it was very surprising. I was surprised that Holland actually quit that lap. Thought he would have saved it. Yeah, it's fine. The game also lagged a little bit, and I went into the back of Lion, who was already slow, already had a 1 second penalty. Could have moved aside. Well, thank you, Finn. I'm glad you see it that way. I don't think there's some other people here, some people that should be supporting me. Maybe not watching the stream right now, but they usually should be supporting me and they're not. So thank you. Hey GTR, thank you. You did pretty good in the qualifying, I'd add. You had a nice toe from Adam, and you let the GTR do its thing. Yeah, P3, not bad. Really good stuff there. So this is the lineup. There's DB007. He's usually in the Atenza. But considering how there was an update with the new Mazda RX Vision, he chose that. And it's a very brave choice from DB. It's a good car, but it definitely has its weaknesses. So let's have a quick look, seeing who uses what. Got Metal Gear on soft. GTR also following him. On soft, Adam, Cyrog, myself, Keaton, Matt, Ironface, all on medium. Emery on hards, Jono on medium, followed by Lane, hards, DB on mediums again. Noble there on mediums. DNA and Viper Z rounding out the grid. So not too many hard runners as you would expect towards the rear end of the field. There are a few, but it's not all of them. Usually in a lobby, in a practice lobby when I was doing my race simulation, my first lap was a 34.7. So, but that was on soft. So put that together with the fact that I'm starting lower, further behind, and on cold tires and on mediums. That means my first lap isn't going to be really anywhere as fast, and you can see, wait, 4 seconds right there. 4 seconds slower on the very first lap, so that's where I've lost that much time, the first part of the race. Not the first part, the first lap alone. Now moving on. See the GTR and Metal Gear are up there in the lead. I was expecting GTR to be a bit closer actually at this point, so oh, you're right there, you're close, but it's just I thought you'd be right on the back of Metal Gear, considering you're also on soft. So maybe you're just saving fuel at this point. You can see Metal has got a bit more fuel used. And yeah, I'm stuck here in 5th, just waiting, biding my time and just saving behind Sidog and Adam. Oh yep, thank you, Ranger. Surprised you shot up. Well, thank you. I'm happy that you were a bit surprised. That's what I want to do in my strategies. I actually did the first slot of manufacturers, and I just did a 3-stop for the fun of it, and it was pretty decent. But I got held up in traffic quite a lot, so I didn't manage to win that. It was like less than a tenth behind Adam at the end of that race. But I knew I wasn't going to be fooling around for this slot. I was going to be doing the 2-stop, because me and my teammates, we practiced that. We agreed that the 2-stop is faster, so I stuck to that. Mid-30s, oh yeah, that's okay, GTR. I mean, to be fair, the Nissan has gotten a little bit downgraded from what it used to be, since it's lost 2 power and lost 1% weight as well. But still, you're doing pretty decent. You're right there. You're still inside the slipstream of Metal Gear, so that's good. So, fuel-wise, let's have a look at the fuel saving pack. So Adam, he's the spearhead of this. He's not saving as much. He's pushing it out there, trying to go as fast as he can. Yeah, see you, Finn. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the compliment. Appreciate it. Have a nice evening over there. So Adam, he's going to be on less fuel, obviously. Sidog is on a bit more. I'm on a bit more. Keaton has pretty much the same amount as Sidog. Matt has fractionally more saved up. And yeah, it looks like at this point I've got the best fuel out of this pack of cars, let's say. So moving on, Sidog, what I noticed with the Toyota was that he was a little bit slow in this midsection, in Sector 2 especially. So I would get closer to Sidog, and I didn't go for the pass because it would have, I would have been, I don't know, I would have lost the throw to Adam, even if I passed Sidog, and it wasn't worth it. I'll lose 3/10 in the middle sector alone. Oh, I see GTR. And now you'll see this is what the Supra can do. Sidog is pretty much short shifting. He's even short shifting. And he's getting away from me on the straight. So this is the strength of the Supra, and it's pretty decent on fuel. So you can see it's getting further away from me. I can't catch it quite as much. And that's surprising considering how it's further away from Sidog's further away from Adam, so he's still able to catch up more to him. I'm able to catch up to Adam myself, which is surprising. Yeah, that's a Supra for you. So GTR has actually dropped off from Metal Gear at this point, and like he said, he's been losing a bit of time in the middle sector in pure driving. That's fine, GTR. That's usually the characteristic of your car. I'd say in this middle sector it doesn't quite make it out of the corners as quickly. It's got acceleration, of course, but you need to handle that acceleration a lot. Metal Gear, he's got a handling car, and he's got a lot of torque in that Huracan, so he can do pretty much everything. And you can see he's still in the 30s, low to mid and high 30s in his stint. See, I'm kind of stuck behind Sidog at this point. Adam is getting away. And again, Sidog is just inside the slipstream at this point. He's pulling away. Yes, I'm short shifting, but the Mercedes has pretty good rev range in lower rev. Like, it still has a lot of power when you're fuel saving. You can see he's making mistakes. That's letting Keaton come a bit closer. I'm just putting up, just trying to take my time and not force him off or anything, which you can see at this point. He's got worse tyres, he's got worse fuel, he's not gaining anything by staying in front. Yeah, you could have gotten into this, to be honest. If any, it's good publicity. Just to be on YouTube, it's always nice to have that at least. Yeah, still, like even if you're not sure if you're gonna do well or not, the Aston, yes, it did get a buff, and all that. Just go into it, have a try. It doesn't hurt, unless the points you got in the previous race were very good. Yeah, this is where I lost also a lot more time. You can see in the 6th and the 7th lap, those were the 2 laps that I mentioned that I was getting held up behind Sidog. And as a result, you can see 31.3, 31.3 instead of 31.1 or 31.2. Sidog goes defensive. His tyres are worse, his fuel is worse. It's racing, sure, you can defend. That's just letting Keaton catch up a lot. Adam is... Actually missed this. Adam, he pits in. He's got a lot less fuel at this point. And, he's going to be on the hards for a single lap, of course. Ah, well, yeah, I understand Randmus. I mean, at least you could show your relatives, like, look, mum, or look, dad, or sister, or anyone. You could just, look, I was in that race. Commentators, they said my name, I was there. I'm part of the FIA Gran Turismo Championships. Anything. So, 31.9. I'm stuck behind Sadok basically, and he's not going fast. And again, Baptiste, if you're watching, this is what's also contributing to me going slow. So I'm losing a good second, not even a second, 2 seconds being stuck behind the Toyota in front. And you can see Keaton, he was close at one point, and he was actually quite far away. So you can see he was almost outside of the toe. And then, I haven't tried to pass Sidog, but he managed to get from almost outside of the toe to pretty much less than half a second. So, is that up to the driver? Is that down to the car? Get a new BOP. The Supra hasn't been touched. The Supra's very fast. I'm going to put it on the driver, but you never know. So I come out on hards. Keaton follows suit. He's on the hards as well. He has the opportunity to save a bit more fuel due to slipstream, obviously. See their Matt there. Also, not too far behind. Yeah, what my cam do? Well, I mean, you're friends. Sorry, I didn't say that too well the first time. If you have friends, if you've got someone you want to show this to, like, look, I was over there. Look how many people were watching this, and I was in a race with a lot of guys watching. So now, Sadog, after pitting in, going on the softs, he's stuck with traffic in the form of a Mazda, and and he's not being overly aggressive. He's not going for the passes when he might be able to. That's his choice, obviously. Yeah, exactly, GTR. Toyota's always going to be a very good choice. And especially since it's an official partner, it should be doing well. So you can see Sidog, he stays out, obviously he's on the softs. Me, Keaton and Matt, all three of us pit in for our final stop. Yeah, back to the official partner topic. Here. You've got Porsche as well. You've got Porsche, Toyota and Mazda at this point. Porsche not quite as much, but they're still very, very good. So Mercedes isn't an official partner of this game, as far as I know. I don't see it anywhere on any posters or something.
It's not officially announced.
At least it's not officially announced yet. And not official partner. And I'm still beating these guys with it. So it's got to mean something. You see, I didn't refuel. This is where I gained all that time. So coming into the pits, Keaton had 47, Matt had 48, I had 51. Sure it's 52 though, but I had 51 realistically. And I didn't have to refuel it. I just went on softs, went out, and did my thing basically after that. You can see Adam, he got the undercut on Keaton and Matt, which is good to see. I was doing a lot of hard work to try and stay outside of Adam's slipstream range. So I was pushing a lot to stay outside 1.5 seconds, and it was always there for a good 5 or 6 laps. Adam would occasionally get inside, but I was able to hold him off. That was very crucial. To be fair, the Merc did get a buff. Well, Group 4 GTL, let's say that much. People that don't agree with that, I can always drive it like it used to be, with 1 extra % of weight. I'm fine with that. Perhaps there needs a bit more balancing, of course. We'll see. But Group 3 wasn't changed. We actually got a nerf to the fuel for the Mercedes, so it wasn't as good as it used to be. Definitely. Again, there are people out there that don't agree, but it's definitely not as good as it used to be on fuel. So, got cars like the BMW now, which can actually fight with it. Yeah, this is Metal Gear's. He's up there in the lead. He's pushing forward. He's in the 30s. He's really got a lot of pace in that Huracan. GTR in the low. Okay, so I see what you mean when you said that you were losing some pace. Slide over there in the low 30s. I was very happy with this pace here. I was doing 30.0, 30.0, 30.1, 30.1, and 30.2. So I was being as consistent as I could, doing whatever I could to stay outside of Adam's slipstream range, but still save the tires somewhat. So what was that lap? So 30.2 2 again. Yeah. Perhaps GTI, I mean, a lot of things have changed since we've been here last time in Group 3. So some cars have gotten better. Some drivers have changed their driving style. Not sure about you, maybe. Never know. But it takes a bit of time to adapt, obviously. People drive quickly in different cars. Some people perhaps are not quite as well-rounded as others. They can tick every box in a race, but that's what this championship is about. Mostly, it's showing how much people know in terms of strategy and about managing the car and getting the most out of it, especially in the manufacturer series. So that's good. Everyone's trying their best to do what they can. So P1, he pits in for the final time after doing a shorter medium stint than I would have assumed. I thought that P1 would have gone in a bit longer mediums, but he didn't have enough fuel, goes in, and he's going to do the last 3 laps on hard tires. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, it just takes a lot of practice. That's the entire key to it all. Once you understand what your car wants, then you can, what it needs and how it responds to different inputs and whatnot, then you can start really extracting the pace out of it. So again, another 30.2 for me. I was, like I said, I was really happy with the pace that I had. I was making a few mistakes here and there, obviously. You see, I had to wait for line face. His rear tires, he's losing a lot of time now. So he takes off the throttle just for a split second, and the weight transfer, that's what catches him out. See, I'm right behind him at this point, and I thought about going to the inside, but judging how he was handling the corner, I thought, maybe not, he'll probably pit in, and as you can see, that's exactly what happened. And I managed to avoid a possible incident that may have happened. So 2 laps to go. I'm on softs. P3 is on hards. GTR there is on mediums. Sadog is on soft. So that second stint for the Toyota driver hasn't turned out the best. Probably should have gone on the hards. That was pretty much the strategy, to do the hards in the middle for that 1 lap and then go on the softs, but he chose that and it didn't work out for him in the end. Had to fight through the pack. See, that 18th lap was a bit slower also because held up by the Ferrari. That's letting Adam and Keaton close up just a little bit. Got no motivation to practice because there is nothing to win. You never know, GTR. Like Ranger said, is you should do whatever you can, whatever you're willing to do. If you enjoy it, that's the important thing. There's no point in doing something you don't enjoy. So Sidehawk and GTR, they both have to pit. Metal Gear there, he's done his last pit stop, so have I. Adam and Keaton also there. And yeah, this is the final lap between me and P1. So I thought about going on the inside here, but you can see that I tried to trick P1 into going too defensive and then getting a better run, but it didn't work. It didn't work, and I lost a bit of time after dropping down to second gear for that corner. Off early, just sticking right behind him, taking my time, maybe going for a move here, waiting for an opportunity. It just didn't happen. See that male get going wide, hold the inside, and I knew now I had to hold the inside again, because the Huracan is really good on acceleration and in slipstream, so if I wasn't careful he could have easily out-dragged me to the line. So, it almost happened, but we managed to do it in the end. So let's just have a look at that from this perspective. And I had just enough fuel. I ran out, well, I didn't even run out, but I had 0% and 0 laps, 0.0 laps remaining, so I was running really close to the edge of fuel. So a little bit of luck, a lot of effort, not the best qualifying, but in the end we made it happen and got P1 in the manufacturer series. So another 40 points for Mercedes-Benz in the Oceania region. I'm very happy for that. I wish the best of luck to everyone that's watching here. If you're doing your races later, or if you're doing them later tonight, if anyone that here. Also, the third slot is just about to start, so you can always jump in there and have a go. I'm not going to be taking part, of course, because these points are too good to pass up. But still, good luck with that. Especially to my teammates, if you're watching in the other regions, I hope you have a good race tonight, and I wish you all the best. I hope you can qualify better and even get a better race time than me. Bring some points home, because we're really close. We're fighting for first position in stage 1. So I'll give you guys a perspective of that, of what it looks like at the moment. That's not like you are. So, thank you, Karim. I do practice a lot. I think probably that's what helps me a bit. I'm trying to be as persistent, throwing everything at the problem until it's solved. And you can see it's working, but unfortunately qualifying is I really still need to work on that. So this is the global manufacturer standing for now, without today's points, obviously. Subaru wasn't in the top 16, so they're not going to improve. Who came second? Lamborghini. So they're going to get 36. Going to improve by 6 points. So let's have a see that. That is, that's going to get them on equal terms with Volkswagen. So they have to really get some good results tonight if they want to stay in that top 12. But yeah, we're fighting for P1 at this point. If Europe and Central and South America, two teammates, Beauvoir and Bonelli, if they can do a good job, we can beat Subaru. So this is Europe. You can see Baptiste got 2 36s, 140 at Lago Maggiore. If he wins tonight, that's another 40 points, so he gets a 4-point improvement. in Central and South America. I believe it's the same case for Lucas. If he gets a 40 tonight, he would also get another 4 points. So we could possibly win if we're careful enough. You see, I've gotten all the 40s I can. I've contributed as much as I could. I can't do anything more. So this is going to be the 5th 40 for the season. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be really close. I hope my teammates can do well tonight. And if you're here watching, I wish you the best of luck with that. Slipstream dictates quality. Yeah, same. I agree, GTR. Good one. Thank you, Oscar. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, Dylan. Good stuff. Well done in the top 16. Maybe not quite the result you wanted, but still very strong indeed. Nice result. Thank you, Michael. Since I got the game 5 months. Ah, yeah, Karim. Yeah, the problem with the pad, it takes some getting used to, but there are still a lot of fast drivers that have done well with the pad. So you just keep at it, and hopefully you'll get there. Exercise your trigger fingers. That's going to help. Yeah. So we're going to be P1 in the Manufacturer Series. For the Nations Cup, P1 got 396. So we lost how much did we lose? We lost about 30 points. Went begging for that. And another 100, 120. So we're still safe. We're still going to be P1. Maybe. Yeah, we'll still be P1. So we have, it's not official, but we've pretty much sealed both Nations Cup and Manufacturer Series titles for the first stage of the season. I need to work on the Toyota Super Cup, obviously, because I'm second there. I would very much like to win that as well. But we'll see. There's plenty of time till the next round at the Circuit de la South. Perhaps if I'm lucky enough, I can get the Triple Crown. It would be very nice, because I did that last year. To get it this year, where the competition is a bit more intense, that'll be a very big achievement. Okay, if you guys haven't joined the Super Cup, you should go and do it for sure. They've increased the amount of entry slots, so you have a second chance now. It's a lot of fun. Road cars, obviously. It really shows who knows how to control characteristics of a car. So it requires skillful driving. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I haven't done one of these in a while, since the last top 16. But anyhow, it's good to be back. Thank you everyone for coming in. I appreciate you watching. In a nutshell, Nations is, you can choose the Audi or the Peugeot. It's a 2-stop from what I can see. So starting on mediums, doing hard and soft at the end. I'd suggest starting on mediums. Depends where you qualify, basically. For manufacturers, it's another 2-stop. Starting on mediums, doing that for about 9 to 8 laps, then going on hards for 1 lap, and doing the rest of the race on softs is a good idea. Not Toyota Oscar. No, the Toyota is a bit weak for Nations. It doesn't have the top end to defend, so it can't perform quite as well. But if you're good with the Toyota, if you feel comfortable with it, please go ahead and use it. The hybrid's very strong with that car. King for the PS5 event. Oh yes, GT, I forgot about that. Yeah, if it's a reveal for the PS5, I'm really looking forward to it. Anything that's connected with the PlayStation 5, I definitely want to catch it. For everyone that doesn't know, on PlayStation Live, there's going to be a stream for the PlayStation 5, connected to it at least, on the 4th of June, which is the upcoming Wednesday. So if you guys want to go and catch some PlayStation 5 news live, feel free to do that. It's in the events section. You can go there, register your attendance, and leave the notification, and it'll automatically tell you when it's going to be happening. So you can have a look at that and catch it live. I really hope they show some Gran Turismo gameplay, but you never know. I'm really looking forward to it. Anyhow, thank you guys once again for joining. It's been a bit of a long stream, I don't know, maybe it has, but thank you for the support. Thank you for being active in the chat. Good luck with your races tonight. Good luck in the Superstars for those of you that are doing it. And above all, also good luck to my teammates. I wish you all the best this evening, wherever you may be. And keep safe during these times. Until next time, driving with the best.